Hey everyone, Skylinks here, bringing you another video review. Actually a video wrap-up. First thing I want to say is, to all the Transformer fans, please watch this video all the way through, or skip to the very end, because I have an important announcement for just Transformer fans. Now, with that said, a video wrap-up I'm going to do with the Beast Wars in the movie line. Basically what I'm going to say is my thoughts on the line, my favorites, my least favorites, and then just give you guys a look at my collection, which is displayed back there. Only of the Beast Wars in the movie line. Not of my animated, my classic, my masterpieces, my G1, nothing else. Just those two. Today we're going to do Beast Wars. Now, as you guys know, Beast Wars is my favorite TV show. Probably because it has overall great graphics for the time, action-packed scenes, dynamic storylines, and very adult themes. The same goes along with the toy line. The toy line is bar none my favorite. And a lot of my favorite figures come from the toy line. The toy line is revolutionary in itself, because it takes a big step away from G1, G2, and anything beforehand, by incorporating different kind of joints that allow greater articulation. Ball joints, hinge joints, and all that. The articulation is just dynamic in itself, and if it wasn't for Beast Wars, the toy lines as of now wouldn't be as greatly articulated as they are. With that said, they're also really show accurate figures and really good looking figures. The first wave had its iffies on show accuracy, but on a whole even the iffies looked more show accurate than the G1s did. And from the Transmetal line on, those were pretty much 100% show accurate. Now, my favorites and my least favorites. My favorite figure, my favorite character, you guys know, is Dinobot. Overall in all Transformers, and the same goes for the figure. For Beast Wars. He is my favorite figure overall, and my favorite Maximal figure. Now, if it came down to it, and if I had to choose a Predacon, I would have to say my two favorites are Transmetal Trantos and Dragon Megatron. Those two have to be my favorite Predacons. If I really had to pick, I would go with Dragon Megatron. That's only if I had a gun up to my head. Now, when it comes down to it, overall my favorite is still Dinobot. When it comes down to my least favorites, I have to say Transmetal 2 Cheetor is my least favorite of the Maximal. And Transmetal 2 Dinobot is my least favorite of the Predacons. Despite the fact that they both did surprise me in being better figures than I thought they were going to be, they still didn't stack up to their predecessors. My least favorite figure overall is Transmetal 2 Cheetor. With that said, I had a question posed to me, am I going to do any more of the Beast Wars figures outside of the cartoon show? As you can see, all the figures that I've reviewed have been from the cartoon show. Yes, I will, but not as now. I do want to get Grimlock, Mammatron, is it pronounced? That three dinosaurs that transform into one. Cybershock, Primal Prime. I want to get a few Transformers like that, but I'm not going to do them right away. I just wanted to get the Beast Wars line complete. So, as of now, no, not right away. Now, with that said, let's go over and see my Beast Wars line. The announcement that I wanted to say is, after this review, I'm going to take a week break from Transformers. Just a week. Because I want to upload a lot of Batman, a lot of Buffy, a lot of Angel stuff. I think it's only fair because you Transformers fans had the privilege of having the animated line marathon. A whole week pretty much dedicated to the animated line. So I think it's only fair that they get their own week too, both of them. So just for 1 week, the Transformer Beast Wars line, or not Beast Wars line, but the Transformer reviews are just going to be put on a pause. I really hope I have the thing focused on me. Now, I may or may not have to pause this review and do a second part to it, depending on how much time I do. Okay? So, let's just turn around. Let's see how we have for time. I have 6 minutes. I'm good. Okay. Let's take a look. Now, before I actually take a close-up look, I have a theme going for my figures. What I do is I have Predacons on that side, and Maximals on this side. And I have the two original leaders side by side. And then I have, in the center, their biggest forms, Dragon, Megatron, Optimal, Optimus. And at the end, I keep their Transmetal forms. Kind of like leader, 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 leader. It's a great way to separate things. In addition to that, to the right of Optimal Optimus is all the normal Beast Wars figures with the normal Beast Wars leader. To the left is all the Transmetal and Fusors with their Transmetal leader. Same goes for Dragon Megatron. Left, regular Transformers. Right, Transmetal. Now, with that said, let's look at them. With the exception of Tigerhawk, whose wings are positioned kind of off, all of them are pretty much posed the way I want them to. Cheetor's got kind of a feral pose there. Depth Charger was a bitch to pose overall, so I kind of put him into a, a guard pose. Also, Optimus, just a standard standing pose. Black Arachnia I wanted to give a feminine pose. You can't really see it because she's covered by Silverbolt's wing, but her hands on her hip, her gun's down. I wanted to put her feet together, but it didn't quite work due to balance reasons. Silverbolt having his clubs crossed. Now, he's a bitch because he takes up a lot of room with his wings. He just wouldn't look right with his wings up in the air. Tigerhawk on the whole, I like his pose with his hand up and his gun down, but his wings I had to put up to save room. Cheetor has a nasty pose. We got a nasty pose here for Rat Trap with the whip up. There's Cheetor again. I wanted to put the hands on the waist for Optimus Primal. That's because I saw a picture of the Beast Wars, all the cast together, and I thought it was a pretty nasty pose. Airazor, I put her leg up, make her look very feminine, her hands on the hips. Cheetor and Tigatron, I kind of kept them in the same pose, just alternate weapons, kind of just to contrast each other because, they're both pretty much the same figure. Rhinox I put in the background because no one likes him as a figure, even though he was a cool character. Dinobot I kind of have in a offensive, getting ready to strike pose with his weapons deployed. Rat Trap I have in kind of like he's talking to the communicator, having his gun up. And Optimus Primal having his swords in kind of a nasty pose that I love. I love this figure. It's a great figure. Now, give me one moment. My computer went to screensaver before I wanted it to. But yeah, those are pretty much all the good poses I have for my Maximals. Now, onto the Predacons. Before I go to the Predacons, the Maximals were hard to cram together because there's a lot more Maximals than there is for Predacons. With Predacons, there's a lot less of them, which was a shame because I actually think overall the Predacon figures are better. Now, with that said, let's move on to the Preds. Okay. Megatron just has a nasty pose, ready to strike. I put Pterosaur there in kind of cool pose, holding his gun. I have Inferno saluting because there's really not many good poses I want to put him in, and I want to have him next to Megatron to show his loyalty. Tarantus just getting ready to strike in a nasty pose. Now, Black Arachnia's figure, as you know, is just a molding of Tarantus with different colors. So she doesn't look that much like a girl, so I had to give her a feminine pose. So I put her feet together, hands on the hips, and feminine fatality. Or fatale, whatever. Scorponok getting ready to strike. He was a bitch to pose. This is the only pose I could do him in because of his tail. Let's move over. Waspinator, I have him in a striking pose. I wish he was smaller, but whatever. Dragon Megatron in the center, just looking badass as always. I love this pose for Tarantus because it kind of has him leading with his Magnum, getting ready to strike. This isn't actually a bad pose for Dinobot. I just like him looking like he kind of reminds me of Wolverine in this pose when he gets his claws out. And as to someone commenting on my Dinobot review saying those flaps, you just have to force them. No, mine don't go in. Trust me, I forced them. Here's Transmetal Megatron. I wanted to put him in a different pose, but I didn't have that much room, so I gotta just put him into a, authoritative pose. Quick Strike, ready to strike quick. And Rampage with his gun to his side and his gun down. So, there are my Beast War figures displayed. I had a few people asking me if I could show them my collection, and I don't know why, but I don't like to show my whole collection of Transformers, but I don't mind showing my Beast Wars and my movie line figures. So, with that said, I'd like to leave you guys with a peace out. As I told you guys, I'm going to do a week for Buffy and Batman, so just be patient. Please don't get upset with me because I have to hit 3 different kinds of fans. With that said, I'm finishing uploading my next review, and this is Skylink saying peace out for now.